This video is on a tough topic, and that topic is on physician well-being. It's typical hearing about people's experiences with burnout and depression. And every time I see a news article about a medical student or a doctor that has committed suicide, it breaks my heart. And unfortunately, those articles are becoming more and more common. It's not an easy life. Between the obscene hours, the stress from work and boards, family obligation and pressure, the feeling of social isolation because your peers, your friends, your family, even your significant other just don't understand what you're going through. And that's just to name a few things off the top of my head. I'd sit down and talk about everything we go through, but I don't think I'd ever have enough batteries on my camera. So there's a push now to address this, to address the well-being of doctors. And whereas it should take priority, often to us it feels like a chore. They tell us to go for a hike, join a spin class, pick up those hobbies we've neglected because we work 100 hours a week. And it's like, great, there's something else I have to do on top of the 100 other things I have to do. Because right now I'm barely keeping my head above water. So we often push it aside, put it at the end, at the bottom of our list. That might not be the right thing to do. And I'm guilty of it too. And when I reflect on it, I often think of a story. And the story goes like this. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there's a young man in a village. And he's ready to set off on his own, create a name for himself, to change the world. So he packs up all his things, kisses his mama goodbye, because he should. But before he leaves, he wants to talk to the old man who lives alone in the mountains, because he's known as the wisest person in the village. So he makes his way up there, says to the old man, I'm ready to set off. Do you have any last-minute advice for me before I go? The old man looks at him, smiles, says, you remind me a lot of myself when I was younger. And because of that, I'm going to give you the best piece of advice I have. Advice I've never told anyone else. Ooh, young man's ears perk up. This has to be good. Advice he's never told anyone else. His best piece of advice. Ooh, he leans in. The old man says to him, I was just like you when I was younger. I wanted to change the world. So I worked and I worked and I worked until I couldn't work anymore. And I realized something. What did you realize? The young man said. Realized I couldn't do it, the old man said. Well, I was young and I was stubborn. I said, if I can't change the world, at least I can change my country. So I worked and I worked and I worked until my hands couldn't work anymore. And I realized something. What was that? The young man said, with a little more hesitation. Realized I couldn't do it, the old man said. But I was still determined. And I said, if I can't change my country, at least I can change my village. So I worked and I worked and I worked. And I realized something. The young man was silent at this point. I realized I couldn't do it, the old man said. But I said, if I can't change my village, the least I can do is change my family. But by this time I've been gone so long, my family didn't even recognize me anymore. So I came back to my village, this village, an old and broken and lonely man. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? The young man is completely dejected and says, no, I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. The old man says, all this time I had gone in backwards. If I had just worked on myself, maybe I could have raised a wonderful family. And that family could have changed his village could have changed his country, and his country could have changed the world. Now do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I really like that story. And it illustrates a point. And that point is sometimes the best way to take care of others is to take care of yourself first. Sometimes the most selfless thing you can do is just to be a little bit more selfish. See, everyone out there has a part of them that wants to change the world, and that's beautiful. I never want you to lose that. I just want you to know that it's all right if you can't change the world. I just want you to know that it's all right if you can only change one person. I just want you to know that it's all right if that one person is you.